Luke, the brain. I wanted to go and see Mr. Terup. My mom and dad didn't think it was a good idea, but I wouldn't listen. I'm sorry. I didn't stop pestering them about it. I needed to go. Eventually, they gave in. I stepped off the hospital elevator and stared down the long hall. Mr. Terup was in one of those rooms. Nurses moved around behind some desks. I heard some of them laughing. How could they laugh? How could they laugh when my teacher was in a coma? They grew quiet as I walked past. I felt some of them look at me and my mom, but I just kept walking until I saw his name on the door. Terup, room 404. A palindrome, just like our classroom. I stopped and took a deep breath. I felt Mom's hand on my shoulder. I walked in. I saw him, on his back, perfectly still in his bed. Tubes poked into his arms. A mask covered his face. Machines beeped. His eyes stayed closed. He didn't move, not an inch. Only his chest rose up, then fell down, with each frail breath. I wanted to say something. I wanted to tell Mr. Terup I was there. I wanted to tell him he was going to be okay. I wanted to, but I couldn't. I tried, and I felt a lump in my throat begin to choke me. I didn't want to cry. I told myself not to cry. I had coached myself not to cry. But I couldn't stop it. Tears welled up in my eyes and fell down my cheeks. I turned and ran out of the room. Mr. Terup was going to die. I just knew it. I saw him. I saw what he looked like. He was going to die. My teacher was going to die. The elevator doors opened, and I stepped in, my mom right behind me. How could he have let this happen? Why did he put so much trust in us? He should have learned from my plant concoction. He knew it probably wasn't a good idea, but he let me do it anyway. Just like he knew our rough play outside probably wasn't a good idea, but he let it go again. He should have yelled at us. He should have yelled at Peter for the frisbee. He should have yelled at him for the puddle of water. He should have yelled so that we knew he was serious. Then this never would have happened. He should have stopped us. Now he was going to die. We stepped off the elevator and walked to our car. As we pulled away, I saw the word hospital written on a sign. Mr. Terup slept in a hospital. $1 word. I almost smiled. Jeffrey, the slacker. Terup's in a coma. I know what that's all about. I remember from when I was little. Comas are terrifying. I'm never going back to a hospital. Those places are full of bad memories and bad luck. I'd like to see Terup, but I can't visit him. I can't do it. Luke told me it was scary. I know. People die in comas. People in comas die. It should have been me in that coma, not Michael. It should be me in that coma, not Terup. Peter's snowball should have hit me. Now our teacher's gonna die. This sucks. School sucks. Everything sucks. It was better when I didn't care. Anna, the shy one. I heard Luke telling Jeffrey that he went to see Mr. Terup in the hospital, that it was awful, and that Mr. Terup wasn't awake or moving. But I couldn't help feeling the way I did. I wanted to go and see him too. I just didn't think I could do it alone. So I asked Jessica and Danielle to go with me. We sat at lunch. We were quiet. No one talked much. Not since the accident. Anna, what's wrong? Jessica asked. She's always good at knowing when something's not right. Nothing, I said. I pulled my PB&J apart. Just tell us, Danielle said. I still didn't say anything. I focused on my sandwich, picking at it but not eating. Come on, Danielle urged. I blurted it out. I want to go and see him. Silence. I brushed my sandwich pieces into a pile. I noticed Danielle and Jessica weren't eating either. The three of us busied ourselves with staring at our food. Me too, Jessica finally said. Really? Danielle said. Aren't you guys scared to go? Yes, I said, and I scooched forward. So let's go together. Will you guys go with me? I will, Jessica said, pushing her food aside. You think your parents will let you? Danielle asked. She was asking both of us, but I answered. I already asked my mom. She said she'd take us. I'll try, Danielle said. I want to go. We're stronger when we stick together, remember? Jessica said. Just like Mr. Terup told us. Her voice got quiet as she mentioned his name. We got quiet. We didn't talk about him anymore. It hurt too much. Danielle, the pushover. I knew Mom and Grandma would have a fit about me going to the hospital with Anna, especially with her mother. But I didn't care, not this time. I found the courage to ask them because it was important to me. We were sitting in the kitchen preparing dinner. I peeled the potatoes. Grandma peeled the apples for one of her delicious pies. Mom managed everything else. When do you think the snow's going to be gone? Grandma asked. Farmers love to talk weather. A nice hot apple pie did sound wonderful in this cold, snowy weather. I inhaled deeply and then took the plunge. I want to go and see my teacher, I said. Anna's mother is driving her and Jessica, and I'd like to go with them. You're not going anywhere with that girl and her mother. We've already told you that, Grandma snapped. Mother, Mom said, I'll handle this. Keep an eye on dinner. Danielle, come with me. I don't like it, Grandma said. Apple peels missed the pile and flew onto the floor. I'm so grateful my mom pulled me away. I love Grandma, but she's like a piece of iron, unbendable. And forget about the teacher thing. In her mind, a teacher is still the person that raps you on the knuckles with a ruler or across the backside with a paddle. She doesn't get Mr. Terup at all. According to Grandma, this whole incident is his own fault. Seems to me that teacher of yours has only himself to blame, Grandma had said one night while doing the dishes. If he had more control over them boys, especially that Peter, this wouldn't have happened. I stopped drying the plate in my hands. He needed a licking months ago, and a good teacher would have given him one. My plate smashed onto the kitchen floor. I didn't mean to drop it. Mom, on the other hand, she gets it. I've told her about Mr. Terup many times, so I know she understands how special he is. We sat on my bed, side by side, not looking at each other, but at the wall across from us. I'd hung my sketch of Mr. Terup there. You really think you want to see him? Mom asked. Yes. It's not going to be easy. He's going to have machines and tubes hooked up to him. He's not going to look at you or say anything. I know. Luke was talking in school about his visit. He said it was scary. And I don't like you being around Anna or her mother, but I also think it's probably better that you go with your friends than alone. Charlie could drop me off and pick me up. The bed bounced as I twisted to face Mom. It sounded like she was about to agree. Please,